So, Florida's House Bill 913 has gone into effect July 1st, 2025. If you're seeing this, you could be a buyer of a condo, you could be a seller of a condo, you could simply be an owner of a condo, or if you're an real estate agent, I'm just here to educate really everybody. This is one of the biggest condo law changes we've seen in years. I'm going to go over the top 5 things that I saw that seem to most affect really everybody, buyer, sellers, owners. But also I'm going to go over a little prediction of mine just so you can make the best decision for yourself if you are in the market for a condo, maybe looking to sell a condo, or if you're an agent trying to help someone sell or buy a condo. Now, of course, I work Brevard County here in Florida, but this is going to be relevant for every condo here in Florida as a whole. So, number 1, stronger inspections. Buildings 3 stories or higher now have a mandatory milestone inspection at 30 years of age and then every 10 years following that. This rule is really meant to just catch structural issues and repairs early, especially since what happened with Surfside back in 2021. So what does this mean for older condos? Getting a structural inspection could mean bad news, but also could mean good news. Your condo could just be in great shape and not much has to be repaired or fixed. But if you're part of a condo that may have neglected any repairs or general maintenance overall, this could mean pretty bad news for you. The reason why it's more bad news than good is because if these things need to be repaired and fixed, your condo, 1, will be required to do so, but 2, the amount of money it usually takes to do these big structural repairs, and also now following that every 10 years, keep up with these fixes and repairs and deferred maintenance, it will add up pretty quickly. The scary part here is many condos around Florida, they don't have their stuff straight. A lot of associations have reserve issues, a lot of associations have financial issues, and it hasn't gotten a lot better. So when your association has a bigger bill for some deferred maintenance and some issues that need to be resolved pretty quickly because these will be required, someone's gonna come up with the money. And what happens when your reserves don't have the money? Well, you as a condo owner are gonna get slapped with a bill, a special assessment, and just more headache overall. Because not only will you have this upfront cost that you probably were not expecting as a condo owner, and this special assessment that kind of came out of nowhere, but like I mentioned before, every 10 years following that, I guarantee out of each inspection, more things can be found or more maintenance items will need to be maintained. In those years, if your reserves have not gotten figured out and your financials have not gotten figured out, what do you think is gonna happen again and again and again? Special assessments, plus in most situations when reserves and financials don't make sense, your dues end up going up. In my local market here in Brevard, in the last 12 to 18 months, I've seen condos quietly get pretty bad. I've seen association fees double, if not triple, in some condominiums. On top of that, it's been quietly a race to the bottom for a lot of condo owners. I've seen the inventory increase drastically of condos. Many units in the same building trying to sell and get out. They don't want to deal with these things. But there's a little bit of good news in all this. Condos that are more newly built are not going to be subject to any of these big inspections anytime soon. So many condo owners are just trying to cash out, even if they're taking a little cut on their equity because they're still making great money on their condo selling it. And many buyers are also looking for new condos. So with that, they're okay with it. They'll sell their old condo, buy into a new one, or I've seen a lot of condo owners actually get out of the condo game completely and buy a single family home or a townhome nearby. So these newer condos that are well maintained from the start and have different structural engineering at the beginning, also in the future at that 30-year mark and 10-year following marks, they're probably not going to be in bad shape or have too many deferred maintenance items or repairs needed. So trust me, the inspections are good because we do not want a repeat of Surfside. But as a condo owner and also a future buyer of a condo, you really got to remember this because your fees and your pocket are going to hurt. Number 2, high reserve thresholds. Association fund reserves went from $10,000 now up to $25,000. So big ticket items like roofs, structural issues, repairs, things like that, they used to only have to hold $10,000 in reserve to figure out how to pay for those things. And now they're required to have $25,000 in reserves to pay for those types of items. So we're kind of back to what I said before. What's going to happen when your reserves for your condominium aren't there. Or you only have 10,000, now we gotta go up to 25,000. That is ringing the special assessment bell all day. On top of that, I foresee association fees going up so they can meet that reserve requirement. So again, as a condo owner, this is good news, but also not good news, because sure, you'll have more in reserves to cover any big ticket items like we mentioned before, but if your reserves aren't there in the first place, we got to make up the reserves. But if you're a condo buyer right now, this could mean good news because you know you're getting yourself into a good situation buying a condo and knowing the reserves will need to be there, but also a healthy amount of reserve will be there. So any future things that are needed for the condominium, $25,000 would cover a lot more than $10,000. Number 3, flexible funding. This could be a savior of the last 2 situations I just mentioned, but also it's kind of a big question mark at the moment. Boards can now use special assessments, loans, or lines of credits to pay for major repairs, but of course with member approval. We've typically never really seen loans or line of credits used before. That's the big question mark. But this gives you a little bit of breathing room as a condo owner. Instead of getting slapped with big special assessments, if your association could get approved for a line of credit or a loan, probably through a very special institution or specific loan type, this could just take away that special assessment fear and draw out the expense a lot more than just the special assessments. So this takes away that pressure of a heavier special assessment up front and the fear of your condominium association fees going up. But at the end of the day, you're still a condo owner and you're still responsible for whatever amount your portion of that payment is. So really, it's more delaying the inevitable. The more unknown part of this whole thing is, what are the terms of these lines of credit or loans? When a buyer is trying to buy this condo, who's going to be responsible for getting these loan details in a timely manner, or this line of credit details in a timely manner? And who's to say if a line of credit or loans given, is it for way more or just the exact amount you need? What if you do need more? And also, will these repairs be tied to the final approval of this loan to get paid off correctly? Or will there be inspections involved? I'd be super curious to see how these are laid out. There's no way they'd just be normal loans with just principal, interest, and done. Especially if we're tying a condo and its big repair or reason behind it being a repair. Because at the end of the day, banks want their money back. So they will look into, probably even deeper than a home buyer, into the condominium, the reserves, the financials, the HOA dues, the special assessments that exist, the condo owners, how many are there, things like that. So number 3 is definitely one I'll pay close attention to as time goes on. Now, number 4, more transparency. Condos with 25 units or more, most of these condos will be required to have a web portal or online website that owners can access to be able to see very important documents like bylaws, association documents, financials, and of course, anything else relevant to the ownership of the condo. And any meetings held online must be recorded and be accessible on this web portal or website within 30 days of the initial meeting. Why this is so great is because transparency. As a condo owner, or maybe now a buyer of a condo, you're able to see everything you need to see in a pretty good, timely manner on one platform. Something I experienced as an agent helping people buy and sell condos and homes in general. Sometimes communication sucks, especially with associations. I'm lucky to get a point of contact and that point of contact to get back to me. Now I have at least the seller or an owner of a condo be able to give me an online platform that they can access and get all the documents that I may need to properly sell their home. Or the other side of it, if I'm helping a buyer, now that owner slash seller slash agent should help get to that online portal and access these documents that we may need to make a better decision on the purchase. On top of that, the contingency of 3 days for a buyer to review all relevant documents to a condo association has increased to 7 business days. This is huge because what I mentioned before, we've always had an issue with response rate and also just timely manner delivery of things. So now, given 7 business days, we have a lot more time for buyers to review documents that are relevant to the condominium, and gives sellers a lot more time to also provide these documents too. Now, the scary part, or at least the part you might want to think about. Again, as an association and as an owner of a condo in an association, do you believe confidently your association will keep up with these rules correctly? Will they have a web portal or website made? Is it easily accessible? Does every owner get their login in a timely manner? Is this service and updated relevantly? What's their onboarding and offboarding process with owners that sell or with new buyers that buy? On top of all that, will it work? So there's a lot that can go right and wrong with this, And this is where you're gonna have a lot of belief in your condo association. Will they do it right? And lastly, number 5, tighter oversight. Community association managers will face stricter licensing rules, and boards now have to disclose conflict of interest situations more. This is truly aimed to reduce management issues overall and ensuring board members really do act in the best interest of the owners of the condos. And for buyers out there now, rest assured, hopefully, you can have more confidence in the board that you'll be a part of as a condo owner. But I'm back to what I've said a couple times already. Is your board really gonna keep up with this stuff correctly? Are they going to register with DBPR correctly and have these other rules enforced the right way? Also, on top of that, will conflicts of interest be disclosed properly? I don't know. Just because it's a rule, I can't trust associations to all do great. If they all did great, we probably wouldn't have this bill happening right now. So here's my professional prediction overall. I'm gonna give you both point of views as sellers and as buyers. For sellers, this can mean really good things for your condominium for the long term. It sounds like if certain associations do get their act straight and keep up with these things well, and you ride the rough wave of special assessments and HOA dues going up, you probably will have a better condo overall. But the downside there is it's going to cost you probably a lot of money and a lot of headache. And the one factor you can't predict is your association going to do all this correctly and in a timely manner. But if you're a condo owner of a newer condo and you're thinking about selling, it might be a good time to sell because a lot of eyes are on new construction for condos because of issues of the old ones. If you're a buyer, short term, I'm telling you, you got some good leverage and good opportunity to buy a condo at probably a really good discount and a really good price. There's a lot of more inventory than we've ever seen in general, let alone in the condo market. We've seen double, if not triple, the amount of inventory in my local market. So an opportunity right now to buy a condo is good. You'll get probably a pretty hefty discount. Plus, you'll probably get the unit you want or the type of condominium you want. But the big downside, flip-flop, long-term, you might have the issue now of payments and these HOAs going up and also an association that may or may not be complying. So down the road, you might be the condo owner that is going to have issues selling later on if you choose to sell. Also, if you're a buyer of a condo and you're struggling to figure out what to do, if I were you, I'd probably lean into buying a newer condo if you really want a condo here in Florida. The newer condos are held at a much higher standard to begin with. And on top of that, they're not held to a lot of the structural inspections because they're a lot newer than just 30 years old. Both as a condo owner and as a prospective condo owner, I think this bill is going to do a lot of good more than it does a lot of bad. It's all about perspective. If the bad is just more costs, money comes and goes. But a lot of good comes from it because you got a lot more protection on the association side doing the right things and upholding the right rules. Your condo as a building is going to be more structurally sound and much more better condition overall. Plus, owners will have a lot more access and a lot more transparency than they ever had before. And buyers also have the same version of all that combined. So I'm a big believer this bill is going to help a lot of condo owners in the long term and short term as just condo owners. But values, that's where I think we're going to see a lot of issues. Already seeing a lot of inventory in the condo market, and we're seeing prices slash 10, 15, 20% in certain condominiums. But if you're looking for opportunity and you're looking to make a deal, this could be the market for you. And if you're a seller, don't be scared. You still probably have a lot of equity. And if I were you and you want to stay in your part of Florida nearby the condo without the condo headache, buy a townhome or a single family home nearby. You'll get the benefit that you had before of enjoying the Florida lifestyle, enjoying the beaches, enjoying the sunshine, but without this bill and all the headaches that may come along with it. You still probably can cash in on about 75 to 90% of your equity without too much of a hassle. Go get yourself a nice home or a townhome nearby. Enjoy the Florida lifestyle. Enjoy your second home. Enjoy the home you come down to during the winter times and just enjoy the sunshine. And of course, big disclaimer, this bill is not just 5 main points said by me. It is a huge bill full of a lot more points that go into a lot more detail than I did in this video. If you want to learn more and you want me to send you a copy of the bill and any other points I found in it that are pretty relevant, shoot me a DM, shoot me a call, a text, or an email, and I'd be happy to help. If you're looking to buy or sell in this area, a condo, or really any other home in Brevard County, I'm your guy. I'm happy to help anytime.